Hey, what's up, guys? Back from the deck profile here. Now it's my birthday. Hey, 11/22. Yes, best deck, best deck. Um, we're just hanging out. I did want to profile Dark World. I've been playing a lot of Rogue this past week, and just because I know you guys like the Rogue stuff, because I'm not gonna profile, the same norm shit. But I want to just real quick. I want to thank all of my friends that are family. Of course, I have to say friends, obviously, but for all the presents, all the subscribers too. Thank you guys. I just can't thank you guys enough. So, without further ado,
love you, bro.
Love you too, bro. I appreciate that. Without further ado, Dark World, turn skip.
It's a nice mat you got there.
Yeah, it is. Shout out Cody. Cody got me this ruler mat. I don't own it, or didn't own it, and I was looking at it for a long time, and I was just like, man, I just need to get this. Then he just showed up at my house yesterday and was like, happy birthday, brother, and I was like, broken.
Where'd that Gengar come from?
Yeah, shout out Michaela too. His fiance came over and brought the baby, surprised us, and she got me this Gengar, which was funny because we were at Walmart this morning and I almost bought it, and I was like, nah. And then she's like, here you go, and I was like, here he is. But yeah, so Dark World 60 cards. I know, it's only 60 cards. Yeah, Dark World, that doesn't make sense. It does make sense when I explain it. There's a turn skip combo in this, and I'll show you how to do it. It's not like a fine combo. It's just something that you can do, and that's not what the deck aims to do. It's just you can do it. So. And I have a lot of honorable mentions for this deck. Just because there were so many things I wanted to play that I didn't play. But without further ado, so 3 Grapha OG and 2 Rainbow. The ratio on this used to be swapped, but you like drawing this more now than you do searching for it. A lot of this stuff too, I kind of built this as anti-droll as you can get. I'm not playing Salesman. I did test it. The card's very good. I love that card, but I just didn't. I kind of felt like if you play Dark World, you just kind of have to put your nuts on the table. So just as much as you can do. So 1 Silva, 3 Snow, 2 the Field Spell Searcher. The Field Spell is not as needed as it once was. Plus, after you get drolled, you're just like, all right, I don't need this card at all. And then we are playing Dangers, 10 Dangers. 6th of your deck is Dangers. 3 Jackalope, 2 Snake, 3 Nessie, and 2 Big Feet. Snake just sucks because we're not playing like Cherubini or anything that's like super needed with it. Like the most it does if it whiffs is put a body on board, but we're not going for like super crazy turbo. We are turboing, of course, but not to that caliber. No, we're not making 3 Saryujas in one turn is what I'm trying to say. And don't click off. There is Fiendsmith in here. You have to play this engine in this deck. 3 Engraver, 1 Lacrima, and then this is where it gets a little bit different. I am playing 3 Luries. And one Raven. So obviously Lurie. This card's just very good. It goes with the Dangers. It will always summon if it gets discarded. You can discard it off gates. Anything like that. This card's just, phenomenal. And then Raven is just one of those cards you would normally search off of Tract and then discard the Dark Worlds, and then it level modulates, but also triggers the Dark Worlds. This card's very good. And then we are playing the horror stuff. 3 Amseti, 1 Happy, 1 Debna Tefnuet. We are not playing the Quabebsinef. This is very good. Obviously, I know Dangers don't get their effect when they discarded for Amseti. They don't get their effect when they discarded for King Sark. There is a small bridge that I will explain and have explained in the past as to why you play them. And then this was kind of like a godsend to the deck, was the 2 Wheel, or however you want to pronounce this. Whenever it goes to graveyard, it adds Mutiny, which gives this deck 1 more fusion option. You know what I mean? So, and you can send this off of multiple cards of the extra. And then we were playing 1 Sangan and 1 Necomane King. So in this combo, quote unquote combo. Actually, I'll just talk about this at the end. And then we are playing just 3 hand chests. We're just playing Droll because you can search this with Sangan too. So, fuck it. Fuck it. And then for the spells, obviously card destruction. 1 Called By, 1 Talents, 1 Tract, 1 Mutiny, and then the 2 Ascension. I just love this card. hard drawing. This card's insane. This is what I was talking about with the Horus stuff. You can discard this for like the I'm Seti or the King Sark or whatever to then send a Horus name, and then you can add it back, discard a Dark World. So this is like the bridge to it. Both effects of these are once per turn, so you can actually use both, unlike Mutiny, which is unfortunate. Then we're just playing 2 gates. I think 2 gates is completely fine. A lot of the time I used to side one of these out anyways, and then when you probably would side, you'd side multiples of these out and do the as it. And then we were playing 3 Corridor. So I don't really Cody. I still need to get more QCRs of these. This card's still very insane. Obviously it's not a Dark World card, but it still filters into it. So, and then 3 Lures. Of course, I just couldn't not play a lure. So. And then 3 King Sark. Obviously, also that I didn't talk about was the Horror stuff is just kind of anti-draw, lets you still establish a board, so it's fine. Last card is anti-spell. I just main this. Obviously, we don't have a way to send this with Beatrice and then reset it with Griffin anymore, but you know, here we are. And then for the extra deck, the extra dip.
Yep.
2 of the Grapha Fusions. You need 2 in this list for the grind game for when you do turn skip them if you have to. And you don't have enough resources, because normally you would, like, if you have the setup for it, you would just put this on the board, and then the Sengen in one of the parts would add the Neko Main King, and then as soon as they activate anything, you discard the Neko Main King, and it makes your opponent discard it in his card text, so it skips their turn back to you. The Horus then puts in this plus Horus Engine is game, or the Featsmith stuff. 1 Des, 1 Aerial Eater. I'll explain this in a second. 1 Necro Quip. And then the Requiem, you know, these guys. And then Muckracker. Muckracker is also part of this. And then these were the other 2 cards. My brother Devin Flum uses Gorgon. I still need to buy one. Masquerade and Gorgon. I still think these cards are just too good not to play in decks like this. 1 Saryuja. This card does come up every now and then, but it's not something like we're like going balls with. And then the Wave High Zombie Vamp. We're not playing Photon Lord or Coach King. I was testing Coach King, Photon Lord, and the Garunix. I just think the Garunix card's insane, but you just don't need any of those outside of Zombie Vamp. And then Chaos Angel. So obviously you can reborn this off of Muckracker, which is good. But one of the things I want to talk about real quick was with this was like half the time you'll Aerial Eater and then dump the Sengen, and then you'll do whatever, and then get into Muck, with all the extenders or whatever. You'll Muckracker this back, and then you can send it off with Mutiny to add Mutiny back, or you would just fuse with it or link it off or some shit, which adds the Neko Main King, which brings me to another point, which this is a beast. So if I do have a Chimera Dark World list, if you guys want that, but it's just one of those things where you can kind of niche volume into the deck if you don't get drolled and just end on like subpar board, but then you turn skip back to you, draw another card, and then they lose. So just some stuff like that. So and then I have a couple honorable mentions real quick. Alright, talked about Salesman. Sanct was another good one. I did want to play Canine in this list for Silva. Silva's level 5 as well. Chaotic Elements was another card that came up. Chaotic Elements can add Nessie because it's a dark aqua. Grass Thrust, if I played Tier Elements with Kotz, King of the Swamp. Tour Guide with Cherubini, another reason to play like the Tier stuff with King of the Swamp. The Salamander, if I played the Dugaris Baguska route, I'm not sure that's even... Salamander is good, but it's just like you'd rather just draw Lurie instead and then discard it and summon it. Lurie! Diabolica, that was another card that it's just... This deck's all 2-card plus combos, so it's like I don't want another brick that needs to have another brick. If I played a shitload of Dangers, it would make more sense. But then it's always RNG at that point. I try to make it controlled RNG. You can play one more Rainbow. The Lucent, the level 6 dude, for Dark World's very good, but we just didn't need it. Chimera Fusion. Like I said, if you guys want the Chimera Dark World list, let me know. Dark World Puppetry is a card that always interested me. That card's just not good enough right now. If you were able to establish a board against Draco Tail and Lefamina, you could at least hit 3, or you know what I mean, up to 3, etc. Archfiend Eris with Simmel. I was really hoping, when I was looking at this, that I could play the Regenesis stuff in here, but it's just... I think the only Dark World monster that meets the Regenesis stats is the actual Rainbow, the one that's like, if it's discarded, it summons in Regekis. Back when the X-Saber Hand Loop was big in like 2010. And then you can play Skill Drain, TC Boo, Rivalry, goes in non-fusion area. You can play Photon Lord, Fiendsmith Lacrima, and you notice that the fusion's not in here. Typhon is a Fiend. SP, Coach King, Varinus, which I already mentioned. And yeah, so. But I have a lot more stuff with this. If you guys are interested, let me know. See you guys later. Cheers.